Be me. 24F. Putting the finishing touches on my master's degree. My whole academic life is about dissecting power. I'm smart, I'm passionate, and my friends say I have a powerful voice. Live in a gorgeous loft downtown, the kind you see on Instagram. Big windows, plants everywhere, minimalist furniture. I have a nice car, an Audi Q3. It's not flashy, it's just safe and reliable. I can afford to focus full-time on my studies and my activism without worrying about rent or bills. This is all, admittedly, thanks to my father. My relationship with my dad is complicated. He's 62, old school, built a logistics software company from nothing in the 90s. Classic meritocracy myth believer, thinks hard work solves everything. My mum passed away about 5 years ago. It was long and awful. She was sweet, but very much a woman of her generation. Her whole life was my dad. When she died, he just kind of deflated. Now it's just me and him, and a chasm of misunderstanding between us. We have our scheduled call every Sunday afternoon. Him, "Hey sweetie, how's school?" Me, "It's grad school, Dad. And it's not just school, it's my work." Him, "Right, work. So what are you working on this week?" Me, "I'm deconstructing the male gaze in 90s action films. It's for a chapter of my thesis, a long, static-filled pause. I can practically hear him searching for a response that isn't, 'What the hell does that mean?' Him, "Sounds interesting. Are you eating properly? You looked thin last time I saw you." Me, "I'm fine, Dad." Him, "You know, if you need anything, just use the card. Get yourself a nice steak." He thinks a steak can solve ideological dysphoria. Bless his heart, I don't hate his money. I'm not a hypocrite, not really. I see it as a tool, a problematic tool for sure, but I need to survive within the system in order to critique it. I can't exactly write a groundbreaking thesis on patriarchal power structures from a homeless shelter. It's a temporary compromise, a strategic appropriation of capital. My friends get it. Stella and Henry are my lifeline. We have our weekly praxis brunch where we download all our familial trauma. He literally told me to get a steak. I told them last week, rolling my eyes. Stella, who's a genius on radical economics, chimed in. It's classic boomerism. They can only express care through financial transaction. It's their primary love language because it's the language of capital. Henry nodded. You should frame it as back pay, for all the emotional labor you have to perform just to have a relationship with him. That felt right. It felt clean. I don't feel guilty for using his money. I feel justified. I have a pretty significant online presence. Not a huge influencer, but respected in my little corner of academic Twitter. I post threads breaking down current events, problematic media, that kind of thing. My bio reads, cultural critic, queer theorist, dismantling the master's house, one tweet at a time. My followers see me as this scrappy, brilliant academic. They have no idea about the loft or the Audi. I'm not lying. I'm just curating my narrative. Everyone does. The problem is Dad has started following me. He made a Twitter account with a picture of his boat as his profile pic. His handle is his full name and the year he was born. It's mortifying. He never tweets. He just watches, like a hawk. Sometimes he'll text me about a post. That thread you wrote about privilege was interesting. Do you really think I had it easy? I'd have to spend 45 minutes carefully crafting a text explaining systemic privilege versus individual hardship. It's exhausting. Last month he had a health scare, some heart thing. He was in the hospital for 2 days. He downplayed it, of course, just the mechanics having a look under the hood. But it scared me, and it made me think about the future. He's worth a lot. I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely 8 figures, maybe more. And I'm his only child. The thought of inheriting all that money, it's overwhelming. The responsibility. I talk about it with Stella and Henry, me. It's like this massive hoard of dragon's gold, tainted by capitalism and patriarchy. Henry's eyes lit up. You could cleanse it. Use it to fund the revolution. Stella started sketching on a napkin. You could start a foundation. a grant-making body completely independent of the state and the corporate non-profit industrial complex. We spent the rest of the afternoon brainstorming. We called it the Sovereign Women's Fund. It would give no strings attached grants to BIPOC artists. It would fund community gardens and mutual aid networks. It would buy a huge plot of land in the countryside for a queer commune. It was a beautiful dream. Suddenly, the inheritance wasn't a burden. It was a weapon. It was my destiny. I would take my father's problematic fortune and launder it into a better world. This new fantasy makes me bold. I feel powerful. I write a long thread on Twitter. It's a bit of a thought experiment, but it feels profound. Generational wealth is the most potent poison in the veins of our society. It's a direct transfusion of unearned power, rewarding luck of birth over merit, talent, or need. The truly revolutionary act is to redistribute inherited wealth, to break the chain. It goes semi-viral, thousands of retweets. People are calling it profound, brave. I get a dopamine rush so intense it makes me dizzy. Dad texts me that night, "Can we talk about your post?" I call him, ready for a fight, but he's not angry. He sounds curious, him. "So you really believe it's wrong for parents to leave their kids money?" Me. "It's not about individual parents, Dad. It's about a system that allows wealth to concentrate in the hands of a few, generation after generation, while others have nothing." Him. "So a father who worked his whole life so his daughter wouldn't have to struggle, that's a bad thing?" Me. "It's a complicated thing. It can create dependency. It can stifle her ability to build her own life on her own terms. It makes her complicit in a system she ideologically opposes." I was quoting Stella, but he didn't need to know that. There was a long silence. Him. "Okay, I see. Thanks for explaining." He sounded so docile. I hung up feeling triumphant. He was finally listening. I was getting through to him. A few weeks pass. Things are normal. Sunday calls, brunch, thesis work. Then, the call. On a Tuesday. Him. "Hi, sweetie. I need to talk to you, in person. I'd like you to come for dinner on Saturday." His voice was weird, flat, no emotion. Me. "Is everything okay? Is it your heart?" Him. "I'm fine. My heart is fine. Just need to talk. Saturday at 7. He hangs up. My stomach does a nervous little flip. This is different. I spend the rest of the week speculating with my friends. Henry? He's going to announce he's retiring and wants you to help manage the estate's transition. Stella? He's probably been so moved by your arguments that he wants to set up the foundation now, with your guidance. It all seemed plausible. I was finally being recognized for my intellectual and emotional labor. I arrive at the house on Saturday night feeling like a diplomat on the verge of signing a historic treaty. I'm wearing a power outfit, all black, sharp shoulders, my most serious boots. He opens the door. He's not dressed for dinner, just a casual sweater, him. "Come on back to the study." No smell of cooking. The house is silent. Bad sign. We sit in the big leather chairs in his study, the room where he made all his big deals. A thick manila envelope sits on the mahogany desk between us, him. "I've been doing a lot of thinking since our last talk, about you and my money and the future. My heart starts to beat a little faster. This is it, him. You're an adult now. You have your own ideas. Very strong, very powerful ideas. I've read your work on Twitter about inherited wealth being a poison, about parents holding their children back, me. Dad, that's theoretical discourse. It's not necessarily about you personally, him. But it's what you believe, isn't it? I look him in the eye. I feel a surge of righteous conviction, me. Yes, it is. He nods slowly, and then he smiles. It's a strange, sad little smile, him. You know, I've been so blind. All I ever wanted was to make your life easy. I thought that's what a good father does. But I wasn't listening. You don't want easy. You want to be your own person. You want to be free. You want to break the chain. He's using my words, my own damn Twitter thread. It feels like the air is being sucked out of the room. Me. Dad, what are you doing? My voice is a whisper. Him. I'm setting you free, sweetie. I'm finally giving you what you've been asking for. He slides the manila envelope across the desk. Him. I've met with my lawyers, my financial advisors. It's all done. I have dissolved my trusts and liquidated my estate. I stare at the envelope, too scared to touch it. Him. This is a copy of my new will. It's very simple. I'm leaving you nothing. The room spins. I must have heard him wrong. Me. What? Him. Not $1. The entire estate is being donated to charity upon my death, and most of it is being donated now, while I'm alive. I feel my throat close up. Me. What? What charity? Him. 2, actually. I couldn't decide, so I split it down the middle. Half of it is going to a national charity that provides food, housing, and scholarships for orphan children. The other half is going to the country's largest network of no-kill dog shelters. Orphans and puppies. He's giving my money, my sovereign women's fund, my queer commune, my future, to orphans and puppies. It's so perfectly, diabolically wholesome. How do you argue against saving orphans and puppy? I start to tremble. Me. You can't do this. This is a punishment. This is because you hate me. You hate my politics. I'm losing it. My voice is high and shaky. Him. You think so? No, sweetie. If I wanted to punish you, I would have left you all of it. I'd let you sit in your loft and tweet about the evils of capital, knowing you were waiting for me to die just so you could become a hypocrite. I'd let you talk about dismantling the master's house while you were secretly redecorating it. That would be a punishment. His voice is cold. Colder than I've ever heard it. Him. This is a gift. This is your chance to prove that all of it, all your words, all your theories were real. Your chance to build your own life on your own terms. Just like you always said you wanted. He stands up. The meeting is over. Him. The credit card is cancelled as of this morning. The lease on the loft is up in 30 days. I've paid the last month for you. The car is in my name. The dealership will call you to arrange a time to pick it up. This is it, sweetheart. You're on your own. He looks at me, and his expression softens for a second. Him. I love you, and I'm genuinely excited to see what you build for yourself. I'm proud of you. He walks out of the study. I sit there for a long time, staring at the envelope. Then I open my hands and look at them. They've never done a day of hard labor in their life, and I start to scream. The weeks that follow are the worst of my life. I race home and call Stella, sobbing hysterically. Me. He did it. He gave it all away. To dogs. He's taking the apartment back. Stella. Oh my God. That is an act of profound patriarchal violence. He's literally dispossessing you to silence your critique. This is textbook. Me. I know. What do? I have 30 days to find a place. I have no money. I have to finish my thesis. There's a pause. Stella. Right. Wow. Listen, I've got to run. My yoga class starts in 20, but we should totally get coffee next week and deconstruct this. It's a fascinating case study. They hang up. A case study. The next day, the emails start arriving. The eviction notice from the realty company. The email from the audio dealership. The bank alert about the account closure. It's real. I try to find a job. My resume is laughable. MA in Gender Studies in progress. Skills. Discourse analysis. Deconstruction. I apply to every progressive non-profit, every museum, every arts organization in the city. Crickets. I have to sell my things, my beautiful furniture, my clothes, my books. I post them on Facebook Marketplace. Haggling with strangers over $20 for a lamp that once cost $300 is a unique form of spiritual death. I finally find a room on Craigslist. It's on the other side of town, in a crumbling house with 4 random roommates. My window looks out at a dumpster. I get a job. The only place that would hire me on the spot. A 24-hour place called the Coffee Pot, out by the interstate. I'm a waitress. On the overnight shift, my first night is surreal. The uniform is this scratchy, coffee-colored polyester dress. My tables are truckers, insomniacs, and drunk college kids. They all call me Hon or sweetheart. I run around for 8 hours, my feet screaming in pain, smelling of stale coffee and bacon grease. My first night's tips, $54. I hold the crumpled bills in my hand and feel absolutely nothing. My life shrinks. It's just the dingy room and the greasy diner. Sleep and work. I drop out of my master's program. I email my advisor and tell her I'm taking a leave of absence. I can't afford the tuition, and I can't write a single word of my thesis. The words male gaze seem like a joke from a different lifetime. My old friends stop texting. My praxis brunch continues without me. I see their pictures on Instagram, mimosas, avocado toast. They look happy. My phone buzzes with Twitter notifications. The account has been silent for a month. My followers are asking if I'm okay. It's 3 a.m. on a Wednesday. The diner is dead. I'm refilling salt shakers, my mind a dull hum of exhaustion. The TV above the counter is on. It's the local news. And then I see him, my dad. He's on screen, cutting a ribbon in front of a brand new, beautiful building. The reporter is saying his name. A massive donation. A new animal sanctuary. They show B-roll footage. Dozens and dozens of happy dogs running in a huge, green field. Clean kennels. Smiling volunteers. Then they cut to another story. Another donation. A center for inner-city kids. Computers, books, a basketball court. Smiling children. The news anchor looks into the camera. Local philanthropist Dave, who made headlines this year with unprecedented donations to children's and animal welfare charities, said today he has no regrets about giving away his entire fortune. When asked for his motivation, he said simply, "They cut to a clip of my dad. He looks older, but lighter, happier. Him. I wanted to leave behind something kind, and I wanted to give my daughter the greatest gift I could imagine, the chance to be truly independent." The camera zooms in on his proud, smiling face. A voice from a booth startles me. "Hey, hun, can I get more coffee when you get a chance?" I turn. It's a truck driver with tired eyes. My own eyes are blurry with tears. I pick up the heavy glass coffee pot. I look at my reflection in it. A pale, tired girl in a brown polyester dress. My father didn't just win. He used my own revolutionary words, my own ideology, to absolutely and completely dismantle me.